Hi. One of the things I'm working on right now is to try to come up with a better way for novice or intermediate type users who would jump into a spreadsheet to solve a problem, to keep them from getting stuck, which happens to a lot of people. It's happened to me for things that feel like they should be solved in a spreadsheet. And I'll give you a real simple example of that. This on the screen is the world's simplest revenue model. We just have revenue, an amount of sales, and a price for those sales. Now, looking at this as a novice spreadsheet user or a person who knows what a spreadsheet is but doesn't really use them, you might assume that this revenue value is calculated based on what you type into sales and price. But the beauty of a spreadsheet is that you can do whatever you want. And in this case, I did not want to do that. I simply typed in numbers that I thought were right. And here they are. This is a reflection of the fact that there's nothing about a spreadsheet that inherently assigns a relationship to one thing or another. Like, just because you see it in a spreadsheet in a certain place doesn't mean anything. Anyone can label anything they want. That means you have to either A, trust the person who's giving you a spreadsheet, or B, be able to validate their logic, which is usually done by formulas, or in this case, the absence of formulas. So someone could look at this and say, Nate, your model is a bunch of BS because you don't actually have any formulas here. You just typed in answers that you like. Someone else might not. So let's do it right. Let's actually do some formulas. We'll say revenue equals sales times price. Now, science, right? Now when I say we're going to have more sales, we can learn the interesting business fact that we will have more revenue. Or if we were to cut our price, we will have less revenue. There you go, problem solved, right? Well, here's a for instance. What if I want to know what happens if we change our revenue goal? Let's say we had a bigger goal. What will I need from these two to get that? Well, I'll just go up here and change the number, and I think you know what's going to happen. Nothing, because that's where the formula was, right? This is the cost of there not being any inherent relationship between things based on what they are or where they are on the screen. It's all just a front end for a bunch of formulas that you have to put in yourself. This is fine if you're a spreadsheet expert or you live in spreadsheets or you build them all the time, but if you just want to jump in and solve a math problem, this is really annoying because you have to know what you're looking for when you build your spreadsheet. And if you do it wrong, or you learn something, you have to go in and change a bunch of underlying logic, which is done in formulas, which means you're looking at A5 times A8 equals some whatever, and you got to figure all that stuff out. What I would rather use is something more like this, which doesn't have formulas in it. What it has are set relationships based on what things are and where they are. So in this case, we have that revenue number, and we have that number of customers. The application knows what these things are, and that there's a relationship inherent between them. So if we were to go in and change one of these things, it'll actually change all related things. Or you can specify that you don't want certain things to change, and it will do that. If you change what you want to learn about inside a model like this, you don't have to rebuild the model. You can just ask, because by definition, there are already relationships established simply by you putting stuff down. That's what I'm working on. It's going to be good.